Hello. My name is Samantha. Samantha Summers. And you may not believe this, but I'm cursed. And no, I don't mean that I just have some sort of run of bad luck. I don't mean that things just don't tend to work out for me. No, I'm literally cursed in the magical sense. You see, as a form of profession, I happen to be an archaeologist. I take a look at the past and study it, research, do paperwork, fact-finding missions, and eventually get in the field access to try to study things from the past. To be honest, I love my job. I had wanted to be an archaeologist since I was a kid, but as luck or misfortune would have it, my first big discovery is also what's responsible for my current predicament. As part of my research, I began to look into historical beliefs in magic and the occult, demonology, and things of that nature. It's a rarely researched topic, as, of course, most people don't believe magic to be real. But countless cultures throughout history have firmly believed in it. So I began researching into history under the assumption that if I followed the trail of magical beliefs, that I could find myself tracking down some truly historic artifacts, pieces and glimpses into the past, understanding of history through understanding of their beliefs. And I hit pay dirt. I was actually looking into Mayan history when I came across some text that referred to a demonic entity, an exceptionally powerful one, and legends that they had sealed it away, locking this aforementioned demonic entity into somewhat of a prison, from which they hoped it would never escape. I, absolutely not believing in magic, only understanding that others in fact did, eventually got clearance through the accumulation of research that I had done to perform an archaeological dig, an expedition to find and recover artifacts surrounding this supposed magical imprisonment. And that's where things went bad, because I found what I was looking for. I went looking for the devil and got exactly what I was asking for. After making the discovery of a sarcophagi, a sealed chamber, hidden and locked deep beneath the surface, guarded with an exceptionally high number of booby traps, me and my team eventually found and opened the sarcophagus. And when we did, we expected to find relics, maybe a mummy, of somebody believed to be possessed by a demon or something of that nature. But instead, what came out was hell, a monstrous entity that called itself Altaria, a princess from the third layer of hell, the level of hell completely dedicated to the idea that suffering is only suffering when it's truly prolonged. Most of my team was slaughtered immediately after the opening of the sarcophagi, as she crawled out and ripped them to pieces. It was a truly horrifying sight. Up until that point in my life, I believe it was the worst thing I had ever seen, until all that was left was me and another of my co-workers, who she had strung up to play with later. As I stood there, wetting myself, foreseeing my own brutal slaughter, she pondered out loud about how best to deal with me, and whether you consider it lucky or unfortunate. She decided not to kill me immediately. Rather, she wanted me to suffer. And so, she placed upon me an exceptionally powerful curse. I know what you're thinking, right? What could possibly be worse than being ripped asunder right then and there? Well, the curse she decided to place on me, well, according to her, was known as the curse of endless hunger. And I know it really just sounds like it just makes you hungry forever, right? Wrong. If I had just eaten myself to death, I honestly think it would have been better. But the curse doesn't affect my hunger. No. What it does is basically turn me into demon catnip. It creates a drawing force, turning the essence of my soul into something of allure. Bait. You ever gone fishing? You've seen those chemical baits that they produce in factories that make fish go crazy? Yeah, she turned me into that. And now, every day and every night, I am endlessly stalked by the demons of hell. You see, unbeknownst to me, countless low-level demons stalk the world of humans on a regular basis. I mean, really, who would have thought? And now, I basically acted like chum to them. They found themselves endlessly drawn towards me. No matter where I go or what I do, eventually, they find me. And when they do, they of course try to eat me. But that's not the worst of it. They also tend to nosh down anybody who happens to be around me. So far, I've managed to escape so many close calls, and now I live my life basically on the run. My bags are always packed. I usually only stay anywhere for just enough time to get some sleep, grab something to eat, and then I have to leave again. Because if I stay somewhere more than 24 hours, then they start to show up. The longer I stick around, the more of them show their face. While I've been on the run from them, I started digging into more of the occult. This time, rather than focusing on sheer history, trying to find things in the present. If magic and demons and curses were real, then there had to be someone left that still had knowledge of it. Someone that might be able to help me break the curse, do something. And for nearly a year, I got next to no results. No matter how far I dug in and how much I looked up, there seemed to be nothing. Until, finally, I hit pay dirt. Something that might actually be able to help me. I found someone who claims to have been a victim of some sort of demonic attack. It said that they were protected. I got in contact with them, meeting up and having a long discussion. And based on what they told me, they were the victim of a demonic targeting in which a demon sought to devour them and the rest of their family. But thankfully for them, they were saved by an individual that claims to have been part of a secret society, an order of humans that for countless hundreds of years has been waging some sort of a war against demonic entities, supernatural things. This order apparently calls themselves the Wardens. Honestly, that's basically all of the information that they had on the subject. But it did give me some hope, especially since the Warden in particular said that the demons might try to come back for them. And so they created for the individual and their family some type of warding that would keep the demons at bay and alert them if any were trying to break through, reach the members of their family. Apparently the person who provided the warding also provided some contact information, and that if demons ever showed back up again, they could contact them. So, after a fair bit of convincing, they gave me the number. After calling it myself, I was surprisingly connected to a magic shop. Some rinky-dink little shop that sells goods to Wiccans, located in New Star City. Some girl answered the phone. Originally, she tried to blow me off, saying that demons weren't real. Don't worry about it. But after telling her my situation, how I got the number, and a little bit of detail about what I had cracked my way into. Her facade that they were just a magic shop crumbled away, and she told me to come to her shop immediately. And so that's where I am right now. Currently, I'm sitting in a room, in a chair, surrounded by a number of very strange symbols drawn into the ground. Some in ink, others in blood, others seeming to be in some sort of white powdery substance or salt, multiple different types of candles, and a number of other things. I've been sitting here for about 5 hours, and the longer that I sit here, the more the symbols closer to me begin to burn away, bursting into flame until they're burnt down to nothing, moving out towards the rings that form the outermost seals. The girl who works at the magic shop, watching the progression curiously. Yeah, girl, I gotta say, you're pretty screwed. I've never seen anything like this. It's completely insane. The girl, saying her name was Vicky, said, scratching her head as she looked at me in the center of the circle. I mean, seriously, you've only been here a few hours, and whatever curse is on you has already burnt through 3 seals, and those are not weak seals. Those are incredibly powerful stuff, made from rare ingredients. I've probably spent about $1,000 just letting you sit there. Whatever that curse that they put on you is, it's exceptionally strong stuff. Stronger than I've ever seen before. At first I kind of doubted your story, but now I believe you. No rank low-level demon could ever place a curse like this. We're looking at the higher echelons of hell. No doubt about it. The problem being that nothing I can do is going to keep you safe for long. Eventually, whatever seal I put you inside of, that curse of yours is just going to eat its way through it. I can't produce one powerful enough to keep the demons from coming after you, no matter how hard I try. As she said the words, my heart sunk a little bit in my chest. So, you can't do anything. Are you sure you can't call these wardens? Maybe they could help. No, trust me, most of the wardens are going to have the same problem I am. And if I call the primary authorities within the warden order, they might just decide to lock you up indefinitely. Basically, throw you in a dark, dank prison cell that's basically made out of seals so utterly powerful that even a curse at this level has no chance of breaking through. You'd basically be a prisoner until the day you die, and they no longer have to worry about the curse. They, of course, would feel bad about you not being able to have a life, but the danger your existence proves to others would be far too great to them. They tend to be a really by-the-numbers sort of people. Me and my brother, of course, work with them because they have resources. My brother being a warden. One of the upper echelons in the group, actually. But we don't entirely trust them. For very good reason. There's been more than a few times when, well, let's just say, they weren't exactly working towards our best interests. Or our views on the circumstance didn't exactly align. So what do I do? I replied to Vicky, as she continued to circle outside of the seals, crossing her arms and pacing. Well, honestly, you're very lackluster on options. And I normally wouldn't suggest this as a viable option. For most people, I'd either just break the curse, or find the entity that placed it, and send my brother out. But I'm not sure that he could take whatever it is that placed this curse on you. Honestly, this is some scary stuff. And I'm talking nightmare level scary. Armies of hell, fleets of demons, apocalypse level crap. but I do know someone who might be able to help you. Well, maybe not exactly help you. To be honest, it's kind of a shit deal. But it might just be better than spending every waking moment of your life wondering when the next demon's gonna crawl out of the woodworks to kill you. It would be sort of a protective custody arrangement. Protective custody? Yes. I'd send you to someone who could protect you from all of these demons, keep you safe. But here's the problem. He's not gonna want to let you go after you join up with him. This guy isn't exactly our friend. We know him and communicate, but honestly, if we could kill him, we probably would. Basically, he's a monster, and not just the, oh, he's sort of a bad guy type of thing. No, he's literally a monster. Like the worst kind of monster. He's just a useful monster. What? I replied. How is that supposed to help me? I shouted, not being able to believe what she was saying. You expect me to just hang around and get protection from some monster? Why wouldn't he just try to kill me too? Well, it's pretty simple, Vicky replied. The seal, or curse that's been placed on you, only affects things from the demon world and from hell. Things that are overflowing with demonic energy are drawn to you. But this guy doesn't have any demonic energy, so he's not gonna feel like crunching you down as a snack. Though trust me, he could. Luckily for us, he doesn't have a taste for humans. That's actually how we ran into him. You see, this particular monster has one particular taste. He likes demons. There's nothing so satisfying to him as the taste of noshing down some horrendous monster that climbed its way out of the pits of hell. It's the only thing that satisfies his appetite. His given name is Borothulon, and technically, he's a prince. One of the 15 princes of the Endless Abyss. The Endless Abyss? Yeah, hell isn't the only bad place you can end up. The Endless Abyss is right there alongside it. The Endless Abyss is different. There are no demons there. Everything there are abyssal beings. They follow different sort of guidelines, work differently than demons. And creatures from the abyss and creatures from the demon world and the hells don't exactly get along. It just so happens that this prince has a taste for eating them. Technically, he's one of the scariest creatures you're ever going to meet from the abyss. A creature known as a Leviathan. And trust me, if anybody's strong enough to keep you safe, it'll be him. He's not going to stop the demons from coming after you. No, he's going to hold you out like a piece of bait on a string and eat anything that comes close. Basically, he's not going to want to break your curse. To him, it'll be a godsend. You're basically an infinite meal ticket for him. Instead of having to search demons out in order to gobble them up, they'll come right to him. He'll keep you safe, but only because he wants to eat all the things that want to eat you. Don't expect this guy to be compassionate or nice, but he is your best option. And trust me, I do not say that lightly. Quite frankly, I find his personality intolerable. So, what's it gonna be? Keep running, or should I get his number? I sat in the middle of the room for a moment, staring out at those seals as another one burst into flames, burning away to nothing, knowing that my time was dwindling. I had been running for so long, I was just tired of it. I wanted to be over, but this is the best option that I have. There's something sort of depressing about that, I thought to myself as I looked over to Vicky. All right, call this Bartholo... Barthula? How do you even say that name? Well, you don't really have to. We call him Bart. Sort of a pet insult name. But he started to go by Borum, to keep it simple. He's sick of humans forgetting his actual name. I gotta be honest, we're gonna keep working on this. Try to find a solution. Hopefully we'll be able to dig something up. So before I give you his number, I want you to remember this. One of these days, we're gonna come calling if we find the information that we need to break your curse. We're gonna try to take you back so that we can help you. When that happens, it's not gonna be pretty. As we said, he's not gonna give you up. You're his infinite meal ticket. It's going to be a fight. So when that happens, try to stay clear. This guy is not to be taken lightly.